Welcome back, crafty cuties. Today we are going to do a complete flip through of my finished bullet journal. This was my first bullet journal, and as I was finishing setting up my new bullet journal for October, I found myself looking through here a ton to see what kind of actually worked for me and what was a waste of time. And while I was doing that, I thought, hey, this might be useful to you guys so that we can flip through and just really talk about what worked for me and what didn't. And of course, different things are going to work for different people, but hopefully this video will kind of give you some insight as to what worked for me and maybe give you some ideas for setting up your bullet journal. So enough chatting, I'm basically just going to flip through. I did a lot of videos on layouts throughout here, so if you are interested to see more about the layouts in here, check out the playlist that I'll have below. We're just gonna get started, and I will start off by saying I loved this bullet journal. This was a handmade bullet journal, so unfortunately you can't get this exact bullet journal, but I liked it. It was great. Now, I didn't really access my legend or my index a lot. I started out kind of keeping up on that, and I have like a little legend here, but to be quite honest, when I'm doing work in my bullet journal, I want to do it quick. I don't want to think about it too much, so I did not find myself flipping through here. I don't really care to have one in my next bullet journal. The bullet journal that I'll be using is the, I don't even know how to say it, but the Luch Term 1917, and it already has like a built-in index in the front, so I may use it just because it's there, but I don't find it necessary for me. For my yearly goals, I did start out by writing some things down, but I'll be honest, I didn't go back to this. I don't know if I will have another yearly goals in my bullet journal. I'm just more of a now kind of gal. I don't really, I mean, that probably sounds terrible, but I don't really set yearly goals. I thought I would try it out, but I'm more of like, I would rather set monthly goals. So if I were doing goals again, I would probably set up monthly goals versus yearly goals. So I intended to have a reading log, and my cat is up here trying to make trouble. Anyways, I have some books that are on like my book wish list, and I have wanted to get into reading, but to be honest, I don't make the time for it. So I'm not going to set up a new reading log in my bullet journal until I actually start reading, because this just took up space. I thought that this library card was super cute, but I didn't end up using it. So I won't be adding one of those until I start reading. So this is something that did work for me, and this was a gratitude page. And basically every single day I would just write something down that I was grateful for. Sometimes it was something quick, sometimes it was more of like a memory, or you know, something that actually happened that I was grateful for that day. And this is something that you will see throughout the book that I actually kept up with. I find that this was kind of important to starting out a positive day, and it forced me to think about the things that I was grateful for. So I will absolutely continue this. Next is the habit tracker, and if you're interested, I do have a complete video explaining more about this, and I will say that I really enjoyed having this. However, I think that I learned and took enough from it that I kind of could see what habits or what things were affecting my moods and anxieties and things like that. And I don't think it's something that I need to move forward with and continue to do right now. Maybe if I start to see more anxiety in my life or something like that, I would do one of these again. But I did this for a few months, which again you'll see throughout the book, and I definitely feel like I learned a lot from it. So if you're someone who's experiencing anxiety or different things about your mood, or maybe depression, things that you're not happy about, or I mean, it could be positive things too, I think this is a great thing to try out, and it really helps you get to know yourself and kind of see the different things that affect you and how they affect you. So this is a monthly overview. It was just simple. I just basically number 1 to 31. Each one of these is one of the days of the month. and then I just wrote if I had like an activity going on. I thought this was, my voice just squeaked so much. I thought this was kind of useful so that if I was out of the house and I only had my bullet journal with me and maybe I was planning something, it was nice to look over here. I do use a planner as well, so I don't think this necessarily helps me out when I'm at home because I would choose to look at my planner. But it was definitely useful for when I was out and about, and I do think that I will continue with this. And then this kind of goes along with it. This is the month at a glance, and basically I just wrote down general things that I wanted to do throughout the month. I think this is useful and I would use that again. It kind of goes with this, although this is, like I said, is more general. So this is like finish shaker clips. It doesn't have to be on an exact day. Fight appeal. So yeah, I think that was useful. And then here is one of my weekly layouts, which is kind of the reason why I do bullet journaling. I think it's kind of a fun way to plan. I found that some of the things were repetitive since I use a planner as well. But what I do like about using a weekly layout in a bullet journal is the room for to-do list. In my planner, I don't feel like I have much room to write out long to-do lists, and I don't really find myself flipping backwards in my planner, if that makes sense, but I kind of felt like I could have like an ongoing to-do list in this bullet journal, and it worked well for me. So I guess some things worked on the weekly layout and some things didn't. Let's see, like, I guess I'm not really sure. I'll have to look into that a little bit more. But I do like having a weekly layout. I think I will want it to be geared more towards just a to-do list for the weekly layout. I hope I'm making sense, guys. Okay. Next, I wrote down ideas for my YouTube channel and projects and challenges. I think this is a good thing to have. It worked well for me. I did a low buy challenge and basically tracked all of my purchases. I ended up making like a little chart so I could see what percentage of my money is going where. I did find that to be very helpful. I thought it was something that I would continue to do every month, but as we will see, I definitely geared away from doing it. It is pretty time consuming to write down every single purchase. For me, at least, it seemed to be time consuming, and because I did a lot of color coding as well. And I don't think this is something I will do right now, just because I'm not really focusing on a low buy. I mean, I think it's a good thing to do, but I just think at this point in my life, I probably won't continue that. If you are someone who is wanting to do a low buy, I think it's very helpful to have things written down, and the color coding system really helps you look at where all of your money is going. And honestly, this really helped me hold myself accountable for what I was spending. So yes, I find this very useful. I don't think I will be doing it at least this month. Maybe in future months I would do it again. This was just a blank page. I had it mapped out for my Etsy shop, which, by the way, I'm not really doing any longer. Just didn't really work out for me. But I think in the future I won't like map out a page, just because I think that some of my pages ended up being blank because I had it mapped out. You know, I thought I would use it for one thing and I didn't really do that. So next time I'll just try to not skip pages. I wrote down my favorites for the month for my one of the videos I was doing, my monthly craft favorites. Here's another weekly layout, and sometimes I would write little memories that were happening as well. Like, so this would have been a weekly layout right here, but I just wrote a memory down because I did not have time to do a full weekly layout, or I didn't need it at the time. I don't really remember. And that's another thing I like about the bullet journal is you don't have to do a weekly layout every week if you don't want to, or you don't have to do the same exact thing. You have a lot more flexibility with a bullet journal than you do a planner, and I liked that. This is just information that I jotted down about some orders that I had, some random doodling. You'll see that throughout I do some doodling, and yeah, just kind of like, I guess not art, but drawing. I don't know why there's a blank page. That was a waste. I used this page to jot down some ideas for a new release. So you can see I kind of use this journal as writing lists or writing whatever is going on for that day. And I liked that. I like that you can use this however you need. I can basically put all of my thoughts into one place. This is another weekly layout. I was changing up the style a little bit, which I do throughout. Random doodling. I'm not very good at cursive writing or like brush lettering. I would like to be, but I don't know if I ever will be. Some more doodling. Video ideas. I will definitely have a video idea page in my next bullet journal. Some more doodling. Some more. So yeah, I think we can kind of go through here a little bit quicker. So I will mention this is a weekly layout where I basically just left the whole page blank so that I could use it as a to-do list. And I find that I really, really like that. I think that's probably where I will this is what I will continue to do in my next bullet journal, is clearly have it for a to-do list. And then in my planner, I can use that for things like activities, places that we need to go, appointments, and things like that. It's just easier for me to look at the planner, you know, that has a calendar and say, oh, this is the day I have that appointment, rather than flipping through my bullet journal and thinking, where did I write that down? Which weekly layout did I write that down in? I mean, I may have wrote it in the monthly layout, but yeah. So just some more lists. Things. Yep, this is just me keeping track of things. Here is another monthly tracker for the mood. And you can kind of see I only did part of the graph up here. I did the full checklist, or whatever you want to call this. And I think this is kind of where I was starting to say, okay, I'm kind of seeing what correlations are going on. I'm seeing what's happening. So this was a new thing that I started, and this was a memory page. And basically I would just jot down little memories that happen throughout the month. I do like this. I am someone who likes to record memories. Here is another gratitude page. I do like to kind of get a little creative and do different layouts for the gratitude page. I will be doing another gratitude page and another memory page. And this is where I'm like, nope, not doing the low buy anymore. It was just too, I just didn't care to do it, I guess. Kind of terrible, but that's okay. It's not really terrible. It's just, it is what it is. And I think basically the rest of this was just lots of lists, which I am a lister. And you can kind of see here, these are two different weekly layouts where I basically just kept it blank, and I have my to-do list. I do think that I would like to separate my weekly layouts into days. So you'll see in a future bullet journal video for my October setup what I mean. But basically I will have my weekly layout. I will have a spot for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, all the way through Sunday. And that way I can write a to-do list for each day. That way I can kind of look ahead rather than just having a full to-do list. This is just really not organized to me, and it's hard for me just to look at this and really pinpoint what I need to do for the day. And I think that pretty much concludes. I did start to do September. September was a really busy month for me, so I did make a calendar, which I do like the calendar versus like the listed days for the month. I don't know where that went, but I do like the calendar versus this. It's just a little bit easier for me to see which day of the week is what. So I think I will probably stick to something like this, but again, I have my planner, so I don't need to I really don't need this, but it is nice to have for when I am out of the house. Here we go. I did kind of do my mood tracker for the month of September, but not all the way. I did do my gratitude page, and I did not do my low buy. I set it up. I thought I was going to do it, but I did not do it. There's just another weekly layout, some more lists, a little memory about the kitten that we got, and then another to-do list. So I think that's pretty much all. And you can see I will grab this and write all kinds of things. This is my birthday wish list. These are gifts that I received. And this is the end. So I know that was a really long flip through. I hope that it might have helped you decide what you want to put in your bullet journal, or it was entertaining to you to see what worked well for me. I am just about ready to share with you my October layout on my new bullet journal, which is this pretty thing right here. I'll give you a little sneak peek, okay guys? This is just my little title page for the next, there we go. So that's like my October title page. So I'm excited about this one. Okay guys, if you have any requests or if you want to see me do certain things in my bullet journal, please leave those requests below. Other than that, I hope you have a lovely day. I will talk to you in the next video. Love you guys.